And welcome to this edition of Baseball Essential. My name is Gershon Rabinowitz. First round of the draft, there's a lot of top prospects that are hoping to embark on a major league career when they're drafted in the first round. Sometimes it just doesn't pan out for whatever reason, and some guys look to make a second career by trying to stay in the game. One of those guys is Eric Duncan, who is now the defensive coach for the Staten Island Yankees. He was a first-round draft pick back in the 2003 Major League Baseball draft, 27th overall pick out of Seton Hall Prep. Eric, it's an honor to have you on the show.
Good to meet you, Gershon.
Eric, you had a storied career at Seton Hall Prep, a member of 3 conference championship teams. Who were some of your mentors and influences on the diamond in high school, and what memories did you have of those years?
Mentor-wise, it'd definitely be my high school head coach, Mike Shepard. Still very close to them. He's still winning a lot of games at the high school level, and still very close to them.
Nice to meet you.
In 2003, as I mentioned, the Yankees drafted you in the end of the first round. Moving to New Jersey as a youngster from Southern California, became a Yankee fan. You were a Paul O'Neill fan. What was the draft like back then compared to what it is now? And what do you remember about your first visit to Yankee Stadium?
The draft was a lot different. It was, it was on internet radio, I believe I was listening to it. Now, obviously, it's a lot bigger deal, televised and all that good stuff. But it's a really good experience for the kids that are drafted now. They get to have a good time, get to be on TV. It's a good experience for them. As far as first time going to Yankee Stadium, I was very young. I think I was 11 or 12 years old. And I remember David Cohn was pitching. So that's about all I remember. It's a pretty neat place, the old Yankee Stadium.
And then when you were drafted as a player, you also visited Yankee Stadium. What was that experience like for you?
It was very, very special. They allowed me to come to Yankee Stadium. I got to bring a lot of my close friends and family and close friends. So getting to share a moment like that with them was the most special part.
In addition to being drafted by the Yankees, you committed to LSU. You signed a letter of intent. It looked like that you were actually going to go there for college until the Yankees drafted you. Given the way your playing career ended, do you have any regrets about turning pro so quickly?
I wish I would have took a couple classes when I was playing, but other than that, no regrets. I had the opportunity to play professional baseball like these guys are trying to do now. It's a pretty neat experience, and something that is tough to pass up.
Your first professional season, it took place in Staten Island. You batted to a 373, 413, 695 slash lines, about 14 games, maybe about 60 at-bats. Which players were on the club with you that season? And what changes have you seen with the team itself and with the facilities and everything as you return a decade later?
Yeah, the guys that were on the team with me that year, Melky Cabrera was one of the guys that obviously jumps out. Enrique Cruz, Jose Cruz Jr.'s brother, were just a couple of the guys. But the staff, Andy Stank was my manager. He ended up being the infield coordinator. He made a pretty big impression on me. So those are the things you remember. Things have obviously changed here at the stadium. The batting cage area is improved. The clubhouse is still top of the line. The guys here have a pretty special. This is a very good setup for rookie ball. This is a first class organization. They do the things the right way. Not only the Staten Island Yankees, but the Yankees organization as a whole.
By 2004, the Yankees traded for Alex Rodriguez. They moved you across the diamond 2 years later from third base to first base. What was going through your mind when the Yankees decided to make the transition, and did that shift to first base potentially affect your future?
I don't know. I knew I had to buy a first baseman's glove. That was the first thing that was on my mind. I had to learn a new position, but it's stuff that everybody experiences. It's rarely does a player experience perfectly smooth sailing throughout their career. So you have to adapt and work hard at whatever comes in front of you.
And there were a lot of challenges. You were at Battle Creek, you were at Tampa, did okay there. And then once you got to AA, there were some struggles, there were some bumps in the road. And then with AAA, you were there for about 3.5 years or so. Did you ever feel some frustrations and feel like at that time, what am I doing?
I think every player experiences frustrations. That's part of baseball. It's what makes it so great. It's a very difficult game, especially on the offensive side. This game will definitely test you. You have to understand how to handle failure, how to adapt to it, and how to keep getting better.
In 2006, you were the MVP of the Arizona Fall League. You advanced to AAA Scranton before finishing out your career with Kansas City in 2012. When did you come to the realization that playing professional baseball was no longer feasible and that you decided to make a career in coaching?
The last day, whatever that was in 2012. It's one of those things that you always envision yourself playing forever, but that day comes for everybody. You realize that you can't always play, but getting the opportunity to stay around the game on the coaching side has been a blessing.
And then you were able to go back to school. You went to Seton Hall University for school. You majored in political science. How important was it for you to get your degree and be able to finish that?
Well, I'm not finished yet. I still have one more year left, so cross my fingers I can get through it. But it's been an interesting grind. I think I have a little different perspective than other people, but it's been enjoyable.
And you're also a volunteer coach at the school. Did that also invigorate you? Did you decide that you wanted to become a coach and really get those fuels going?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting the opportunity to stay around the game as a coach has been great, and my 3 years at Seton Hall have been tremendous. Learned a lot, experienced a lot, and I'm looking forward to the opportunity here.
And this season, as you mentioned, you're going to be the defensive coach for the Staten Island Yankees. What are some of your responsibilities in that role? And do you think having your experience as a top prospect, struggling at times, can that benefit players who are now in a similar situation?
Yeah, actually this summer I'm going to be the hitting coach this summer, so that'll, I'll be working with the guys on the hitting side. But yeah, I mean, absolutely, like you said, everybody's gonna fail in this game. It's inevitable. It's going to happen. You have to learn how to kind of push through it, make adjustments, develop routines, figure out ways to get through stuff, because failure is a part of it.
In baseball, if you fail 7 times out of 10, you're going to be an all-star, and you will be a successful player. And Eric, it's been an honor to have you on the show, and wish you the best this season.
All right, Gershon, I appreciate it.